Well, as you can see, the shop is in a little bit of disarray, but that's alright. The new second half of the season is about to start, and for those of you that have noticed, I haven't been around for about the past month. So, I'm going to show you a few things that I'm going to do to help prep for the second half of my season. So I've got a few organizational tips and some TLC tips that I want to share with you right now. Now, first and foremost, one of the things that you need to do before you even start this process is to just declutter the shop of the things that you don't really touch a lot of and just get it out of your way. Now, as you can see in a shop like mine, floor space is valuable real estate. I've got some pallet wood here that I've had for a couple of months sitting in this spot, and it's a tripping hazard, so we're going to move it. In order to be able to move that pallet wood, I've got to have a place to put it. And unfortunately, my lumber rack is in a little disarray as well. So I got to reorganize it and consolidate some of these shelves so I can not only put the pallet wood up here, but some new planks that I've acquired at the Sky Took event just yesterday. Now, like many woodworkers, and I'm guilty of it too, you tend to stock things that you haven't touched in probably 2 to 10 years. So it's time to probably get rid of stuff that you haven't messed with in forever. Now, I'm not saying get rid of all your wood, but little things like this that you can't really make anything out of, go ahead and get rid of it. All right. Everything is out of my floor and up on the rack. So there's one thing that I can say when it comes to stacking your pallet wood is don't be lazy. It's going to be like a jigsaw puzzle, but you can get it all up here without it wanting to fall over. So everything is out of my floor, so let's go on to the next thing. Now, unfortunately, my benchtop tools live on the floor, and because of that, they get quite dirty. So before I do anything on the countertops as far as cleaning, I'm going to blow off all of my benchtop tools so I can put them back on the floor after I vacuum. Now, one thing I always like to do, whether my equipment is new or used, is make sure that it's dead on accurate. So I may take this thing out of factory settings or out of the settings that I had, because I've been using it a while and haven't checked it or set it in a long time. So I may take it completely out of accuracy just to put it right back in. Okay, now that the floors are taken care of, it's time to devote a little bit of time to my metal top surfaces, such as my table saw, my joiner back here, my hollow chisel mortiser, and anything else that may have a metal top. Now, because I'm in Oklahoma, a lot of humidity changes tends to occur over the course of the year. And because of that, surface rust tends to develop on my metal surfaces. Not only that, but right here on my fence, I have developed some as well. So I'm going to take a little bit of time to clean all this off. Now, before I do anything on the table saw top, I'm just going to take the blade out because I have something else I got to do for these. Now, to make this process go quick, we're going to use a can of WD-40, a soft Scotch-Brite Brillo pad, and a random orbit sander. Just give all metal surfaces in your shop a coat and just let it set for a few minutes. Now, using the hook and loop section of the random orbit sander, you can use the Brillo pad to clean your tabletop very thoroughly and easily. When complete, you should have a nice, clean table. Alright, now check this out. Before, after. Lightly touching it with the pad and then wiping it off with a towel, you can already tell that it's making a huge impact. A little bit more work to go, but it's already looking great. Now that is a much better turnout than what I had earlier. Now there are some issues in the saw that I was never able to get out, even when I first got it. Now, it was in a shop that wasn't well protected, so there was some pitting from rusting right here and here, but this is a drastic improvement from what it once was about 10 or 15 minutes ago. And it cleaned up this metal banding right here on the fence as well. Now, one of the things that I forgot to mention, while the WD-40 was setting, I had my saw blades here in this tub full of pitch and resin remover. I got to clean off all the pitch off the teeth to make this blade cut better because I've noticed that its cut quality has diminished. So getting the pitch off will help alleviate that. Now this little setup is also great for cleaning router bits. I had tons of pitch on my router bits because I haven't cleaned them in some time, and the more pitch you have, the more burning you have, and the less cut quality. So take some time and clean your bits as well. After cleaning, just dry it off and give it a spray with a rust inhibitor. Now I have a fresh set of clean blades for the new half season. Now, one last thing that I like to do is to put on a couple of coats of Johnson's Paste Wax. It keeps the rust from coming back and provides a slick surface for wood to glide across. Now, to kill two birds with one stone, leave your insert in the table saw, rub on your wax, and then rub it off. This also has to be slick, so if you have more than one of these, you'll need to coat those as well. Now, it's also a good idea to renew your wax on all of your fixtures that are going to be sliding back and forth on your table saw, such as my crosscut sled here. Now, with the wax residue removed and buffed to a nice clean shine as well as a slick surface, you shouldn't have hardly any friction between your fixtures and your table saw. Well, and that, as they say, is that. One last tip I want to give you. Once you have all your blades and bits clean, keep your pitch and resin remover either in the bucket or the container that it came in. Feel free to filter out all the debris. Just because it's dirty doesn't mean you can't use it over and over again. It's still good. So guys, that pretty much wraps up how I get ready for the upcoming half season, or if you have an upcoming project that you want to prep for, that is how you take a little TLC time on all your tools, because they're going to return the favor. If you haven't already done so, be sure and hit the subscribe button down below and click the little bell. That way you'll be alerted anytime I post to YouTube. YouTube's been doing some crazy things, so you may not always see it unless you hit that alert button. So guys, thank you very much. I will see you on the next build when I make another fixture for that crosscut sled. 1, 2, 3. Boom!
Bang, bang, won't stop.